Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, 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 and bonjour. Welcome to Magny-Cours, and for another round of the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship, and you're here live watching us on Apex Racing TV. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Samuli Kumar. We got Aaron Smith in the broadcast booth with us here today. Samuli Kumar is the broadcaster. Aaron Smith is the commentator. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all are going to be ready for an exciting round of the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here on Apex Racing TV. Aaron, how are you feeling about today? New track. Are you excited?
I am excited. I don't think you're quite ready for anything tonight, Austin. I hope you're all right, but I'm actually
totally
one of the few people. I highly doubt that, but I'm one of the few people who actually quite like this track, because I don't think many people actually like Magny-Cours because it's challenging, but I like it. It's like Imola. I love that track. It's challenging, it's fun, it's like this in a way. Although I will say about this track, it has like the least creative corner names in the world, but I like it.
The corner names are not that original, but hey, they're still better than American corner names, so I'll give that one that. But Magny-Cours is a very fun track. It's a difficult track to pass. And my favorite part of this track is all the way from Adelaide. It's that little inside road course inside of this outer road course. It's very tight. It's very tricky. And that long right-hander, that decreasing radius corner is so tricky to get right. I'm excited to see how these drivers tackle it. And if anyone's going to try to go for a move, a little sneaky move up onto the inside of Adelaide or into that long right-hander, long left-hander, not right-hander. Right-hander is when you start the lap.
Yeah, as I said, like this track offers a nice challenge that I don't actually think many modern tracks really have the opportunity to do so. And yeah, as I said, this track doesn't have very creative corner names at all. They just looked at other tracks and thought, okay, that's now ours. This is where we're going to put it. Because I don't know why they did it. I think we're coming up to Imola right now. Creative name. And I think the turn 4 hairpin is Estoril, I think. If I'm getting that right.
I can tell you one thing. If you want to learn the track maps and learn the corner names, if you have iRacing, go on to the iRacing UI, and it has the corner names right there. Estoril is a long right-hander. And 180 is that tight hairpin. And, ooh, coming out of the chicanes is Phil Reed in the wall. A little bit too much mustard off the exit, but hey, I'm going to say that was a good time because he improved on his time right there. He just gave it all the beans in his final quality lap.
I think I've done that before. Around that final chicane, it is sometimes quicker to actually
Yeet.
yeet it. Yeah, that's probably a better idea in qualifying, and it results in hilarious results, as you clearly saw there. He's had a quicker lap time. I'm sure he's happy. But we have a surprisingly, Zamborski is not in pole position.
Yeah, Samborski was talking to me before the race, and he was very nervous about today. He didn't have that pace, and look at that gap. 1/100th of a second separates Fabio De Carmo and Eddie Samborski. That's a very close front row. They're followed by Phil Reed, who that is reportedly his first lap. Though I think that was his second lap, and he just crashed it, and then he just towed. That might have been better for Phil Reed, but he started qualifying late. But here's your final, well, qualifying's over. Here's your starting grid. Fabio De Carmo is starting up on pole ahead of Eddie Samborski, Phil Reed, Dennis Furkheim, Oli Kawaka, and Eric Weisemeiski, Marcos Alicron, Yuki Shirakawa, Jorge Lopez, Valero Tavares, Jay Lawrence, and Masafumi Abarame in 12th place. They're followed by Dennis Cornu, Jamie Byrne, James Byrne, Adam Whitworth, Luke Brucker, and Steve Casamatis at the end of our 18-car grid here at the lovely Magny-Cours. This is going to bring back a few memories engine tone-wise. I can tell you, I am excited for today.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more exciting venues we've been to this season at Formula 3.5 Championship, or as if you want to give it its proper name, the Formula B Championship, because iRacing had to change it.
The Formula B butt kicker Formula Renault 3.5 Championship.
Yeah, there you go. And it's full, very long, very easy to pronounce name. And yeah, it's a lot less
Be goodness
cool.
we don't have single race sponsors, or else that would have been even longer.
I mean, if we go
to the
to
Formula
Imola,
B butt kicker Formula Renault 3.5 series goodies 400, bringing it to you for the fallen soldiers, presented by Verizon.
if we went to Imola, it would have been even worse. Oh,
I can't speak Italian, so that would have been horrible. I'm glad we just settle with Imola.
Well, I don't even know what it was last season. It was like Emilia Romagna, blah 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 blah. It was just words.
Presented by Heineken, don't drink and drive.
Exactly, it was just waffles.
Zoom presents.
Oh.
Well, I can tell you what. Apex Racing TV is proud to present the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship live from Magny-Cours as the lights are turning on right now as we go 5 red lights as this racist Starticus here today as we go green, green, green. Eddie Samborski gets a good start up onto the inside immediately, jumping into spot for the lead ahead of Fabio De Carmo. De Carmo right behind it. Samborski looking down to the inside of 180, but Samborski around to the outside takes the lead, but now he's going to be looking after that draft. Right behind him, Phil Reed and Dennis Furkheim having a little bit of fight with each other. Reed getting out a little bit wide. Furkheim right beside him. Furkheim on the outside. Reed onto the inside. Right behind them is Kwaka. As here goes Reed around the inside, diving down to Adelaide. A little bit of lockup right there. Wider line for Furkheim, staying ahead of Phil Reed. He gets the speed off the exit. Phil Reed stays ahead of Furkheim. Kwaka now in a battle with Yuki Shirakawa right behind him, as is the first time into the Nürburgring. Set of quarters now into the 180. Samborski pulling out a gap to Fabio De Carmo. Furkheim, Reed, and Kwaka. Good fight right now. A little bit of a wiggle on the exit for Reed. Here comes Ollie, as he is chasing out Phil Reed. Phil Reed, that's getting overtaken by Furkheim, is now under pressure by Ollie Kwaka as we race up through Imola.
Yeah, I think as we normally expected.
Shirakawa diving up onto the inside. Where did you come from? How did you get there? I don't know, but he made himself known right there up onto the inside. Thank you very much, baby. I'll take 5th place. Not the best qualified for Yuki Shirakawa, but I can tell you what, if there is a first lap to watch on replay from start to finish, you want to watch Yuki Shirakawa up 3 spots from where he started. Fantastic start by Yuki Shirakawa today.
I was literally just about to mention him just before he decided to send it on Quokka. I was going to say that, as usual, he got a fantastic start. As he is the just absolute god in this car of releasing that clutch and just blasting off the line. Already gained 2 spots, and then that send down at that hairpin was really impressive. It's coming under a little bit of pressure from Quokka right now, but it's just a bit too far ahead for Quokka to actually do anything. But I'm surprised Decamo didn't put up more of a fight against Zamborski, to be honest. I think Zamborski, if you let him get ahead of you, he's just going to pull away, and that might have been a crucial mistake on Decamo's part.
It was such a good start by Eddie Samborski. He got that right. Fabio was stuck onto the outside, Samborski onto the inside of the first 2 corners, and that just allowed him to get ahead. And then once he got ahead, well, he's currently not looking back right now. He wasn't confident about his pace here today, so there's a chance that Fabio is going to get that pace later in this race. But right now, Eddie is pushing as hard as he can to pull away from Fabio DeCarmo right behind him, and hopes Dennis doesn't start fighting. Well, he's hoping that Dennis starts fighting Fabio behind him. But as for right now, it's looking like a pretty balanced fight between DeCarmo and Samborski. Well, as I said, that the new fast lap of the race goes to Eddie Samborski as Reed is going slow out of the chicane. I can tell you what happened. He went a little bit wide, got into the grass, as that's Shirakawa up in the 4th place. And here goes Quokka. Quokka going wide around Estrell, trying to gain the space and trying to gain the speed. He's in the back of Phil Reed, and he's now alongside him as they go side by side. Shirakawa better watch his mirrors, because here comes Quokka on the brakes, almost getting into the back of Yuki Shirakawa, and around goes Quokka. A little bit too much mustard. And a little bit too much mustard, and a little bit of Leviosa off the exit right there. And Ollie Quokka is all the way down to last place. That was Masumimi Aburame getting caught up in there. The car that pitchforked him up into the air, I'm not sure who that was, but I can make a guess as the one without the front wing.
I was just about to say, I mean, someone on track without a front wing, so it was probably Tavares. But
well, Tavares, you're a wizard. I'll let you know on that one. That was, you got some height off that one.
But yeah, I think we'll probably have to get a replay of that. I didn't quite get a good angle of whose fault that was, really. It just kind of just merged towards each other.
Quokka just puts too much mustard on it. He went really deep. He locked up the wheels heading into the brake zone. So heads into the brakes, goes a little bit deep, kind of a panicked lockup right there. And then too much mustard, and unfortunately right into the race line. You see all the drivers trying to react. There's Tavares saying, I'm going to go around the outside now, and then bam. And Aburame tried to escape right there, and he just kind of got chased down. And there goes Tavares into the pits to get fitted with a new front wing and a set of new tires. Probably didn't mean to do that, but hey, these Formula cars are pretty fast to repair because, you know, we like efficiency here in Formula racing, and we don't have timed pit stop minimum pit stop times like they do in other racing series.
Yeah, it was
a little bit of wheel banging by Jamie Byrne and Casamatis. Banging wheels, trading rubber, trading paint, trading tire manufacturers. There's no tire war, but hey, they're making them a little bit more. I'm actually okay that there's no tire war, because they have a bad history here in America.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you probably hate these because they're Michelins as well.
I like Michelin.
I thought as an American you'd despise them.
No.
I thought you'd be a Firestone / Bridgestone fanboy.
Oh, I love Firestone, but I also like Michelin.
Which do you prefer?
Firestone.
Yeah, I thought so, exactly. So growing up, you were more of a Bridgestone fan then.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what set of tires I have on my car.
I have Michelin.
They might be Michelin.
They're definitely Michelin.
As Alicron looking onto the inside, this is a little bit too far back to make that move work. As, up ahead, Phil Reed in a good fight with Shirakawa. Shirakawa defending onto the inside. I think Reed was just a little bit slow off that exit, but Shirakawa is actually defending heading through that corner as they head into 180. This corner is so tricky to get right, especially in high-speed cars or low-speed cars. I've tried driving this place around the Toyota. I don't know how these people go fast in it. That corner I cannot get right. I'm great everywhere else. That corner though, it's just impossible. I don't know what witchcraft y'all are doing.
Oddly, I mean, corners that. Oh, hello. There's a battle here going on between Wizamowski and Alacron. That just popped out of nowhere. I think
Well,
that
it was
was
a bad
similar
exit
scent.
by Eric, as that's Alacron onto the inside at the chicanes. Ooh, a little bit of a lockup right there. Eric using
no.
all the track and the runoff to his advantage. But look at Alacron hopping over the curbs. Eric might be getting a better straight line speed, but look at who's behind him. It's Lopez. Jorge Lopez right behind him. Now we got a good 3-car fight all the way for 6th place as they race through 180. Let's ride on board of Jorge Lopez as they exit S-Trail.
Yeah, and let's all just listen to this beautiful soundtrack of this glorious V8 that I think everybody loves and misses. He's just a little bit too far back to go for a move, and there's Wizamowski getting way too close to Alacron's rear wing, and it just about avoids him. Well done, him. As Byrne and Whitworth fighting it out of the hairpin, I believe. Whitworth has come off much, much worse as he's falling down the order now, lost a few positions. But yeah, through this middle sector, it's a very lovely, lovely part to hot lap, but not really any overtaking opportunities unless the car ahead mucks up or gets Imola wrong, which we're coming up to now. And you have a perfect opportunity to send it into this hairpin like we saw Eric do last lap, or attempt to do last lap. And Shirakawa did on lap 1 as well. And it is a very ballsy hairpin to go for a move at, but if you get it done, it's fairly entertaining and very rewarding.
It really was rewarding for Yuki Shirakawa. I think he caught everybody off guard with that first move he did on lap 1. He's now just trying to chase down Dennis Furtime as we complete another lap here at, I almost said Montreal, Magny-Cours. They both starts with M, okay?
Yeah, but I don't know.
And
Silverstone.
They're both
and
speaking in French areas.
Silverstone and Suzuka both start with an S, but I've never got them confused.
You're not me.
I am not you. That's a good point.
You're also not scatterbrained like me.
That is also a good point. My brain do the function.
Your brain has never had a contact with a Michelin flying at your face.
You've not had good experience with Michelins, have you?
No, and I still trust them.
If they're on your car, you best hope and pray that nothing happens. I bet after this, go check.
I'm going. Aberame is in the grass. There might have been a little bit too much mustard off that exit.
I blame the Michelins. That's going to be a running theme for the rest of this, isn't it?
It is going to be Michelin's and Wizard jokes for the rest of this stream.
You've been playing too much Hogwarts Legacy, haven't you?
10 hours straight, maybe.
Yeah. I really want it. Hello.
Lock up off the exit for Luke Brooker. Comes across the nose of Whitworth and stays ahead in 12th place. So that was a very hair-raising moment. And Samuli has just raised a great question. Is there a Michelin? There's a Michelin man, but is there a Bridgestone boy?
I mean,
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either.
Firestone has the Firehawk, as this is Burn on the tail end, the gearbox of Whitworth. Whitworth onto the outside, as that is that's a lapped car actually on the inside. Luke Brooker, not lapped car, but it parked it on the apex in a very chaotic corner at Adelaide. But yeah, Bridgestone does not have a mascot I know of. Firestone, Bridgestone's American version, has the Firehawk, which, if you've ever seen a IndyCar race, is a walking hawk wearing a race helmet, and he goes around all the IndyCar races.
Bridgestone does have a mascot.
Oh, it does? I'm afraid. What is it?
Lenny the kangaroo.
Well.
I think the less said about that, the better. I'm not gonna lie.
If you have other tire manufacturer mascots, please let us know in the chat.
I've just seen something. I've just seen something cursed. Hold on.
You don't have, you keep that to yourself. As Dennis Cornu is off the track. I hate that you just shared that with me.
I just found it randomly. I don't know, like, where it came from. If only the people watching this stream knew what I just found, you'd understand why we're losing our mind right now. Right. Oh, good thing there's nothing going on track.
I'll summarize it up. He just sent me the picture of the Michelin Man dabbing.
Yeah, but there's
with
something else.
Very bad text.
The text is the worst bit. Oh god.
If you'd like to find out what Aaron just sent, at 500 likes, we'll reveal what he submitted.
We'll just leave it as a mystery for people to guess.
For 500 likes, we'll you can see what Aaron's bad meme taste is.
All of you laughed at it. Yours is equally as bad.
Yeah, I laughed at it because I looked at it.
Exactly. You didn't have to look at it. But you
Well,
did.
unfortunately, I did because this is where Samuli tells me if my mic peaks, which it hasn't yet today, so I'm happy.
I think Samuli muted himself for a very good reason.
No, Samuli knows the longest time to always watch us muted. It's just constantly face bombing. As
Oh,
ooh, a
hello.
little bit of a lockup by Eric. As alongside of him is Jorge Lopez. Lopez on his inside. Weismeiski on his outside. Lopez. Here we go. Side by side they go. A little bit of a deep dive for Lopez, and he gets it down to the inside, up into 7th place. Beautiful move by Lopez, capitalizing off that mistake by Eric. And I think Eric didn't actually go wide as a choice, as Lopez was alongside of him and just snuck it up to the inside right there. Beautiful move by Jorge Lopez.
Yeah, just very opportunistic. I think we're seeing a lot of people struggling with the brakes round here, which there is I mean, most of the braking zones are either really heavy or really low speed. So
Yes.
yeah, it kind of makes sense that people are locking a brake or two, as this is one of the corners where you're sort of susceptible to it as well. As this time round, nobody locks a brake. But yeah, we're seeing people like Eric struggling with it quite badly at the moment, and yeah, just sort of let Lopez past, and it was a fairly easy overtake. So there's Luke Brooker being under pressure again from Burn behind.
He really likes that tighter line. He's been hugging that apex every time and then stays tight. I'm guessing just like opening the door, trying to play a little bit reverse psychology with the car behind him and be like, hey, go high, pedal down, I dare you. And well, they either put a little bit too much mustard on it, or he's just playing it safe in case he just can't carry that speed. And he's just allowing them have it, as something has just happened with the car ahead of us, right?
I think something happened to Weismowski. He suddenly just lost a place and
Lawrence is ahead of him now.
Yeah, just suddenly lost a place in like
Did
2
he
seconds.
Did he have another lockup in the turn 14?
I did not think of that. That is a good point. I think he did.
No, Ask him, we shall receive. Samoli could show us, and this is heading into Imola. Oh, slow down, penalty. Nope. Defensive line heading into Imola. Keeps it in check, and oh yeah, he did have a slow down penalty.
I wonder. I mean, I've not raced Magny-Cours that much.
It would be at Nürburgring, that right left after Adelaide. So easy to get a slow down penalty if you cut 8 just a little bit too much. That left hander part of it, very easy to do. Because he was initially pulling off onto the inside and slowing down to let Lawrence by. But if you cut that corner just a little bit too much, the one that they just went through, that is how you get that slowdown penalty.
That makes sense. I do wish I'd driven this track more. I don't know, just a lot of the series that I race fairly often just haven't been here. Although F3 was here a few weeks ago, and I didn't do that. So
the wonderful thing about iRacing is you can hop into series that you don't usually race and you own the content. Just practice drive with it, and I've been doing that whenever series I come in here. I hardly drive in IMSA, but when IMSA or the European Sprint Series came in here, I was driving around enjoying it. I didn't do a race, I just drive in the practice session.
I might have to give that a go, as there's Lawrence messing up that final chicane, which I actually was going to mention earlier. The nature of these cars, I don't think they can take that last chicane very well at all.
They might need to be taking a lesson from Lenny the Kangaroo over those bumps.
God, why did you have to bring that up again?
Because as this is Eric down to the inside of Lawrence. And perfect move at Adelaide. Back into 8th place for Eric Weiss-Maisky ahead of Jay Lawrence now. A little bit of a race update as a little in the action. Eddie Samborski leads out Fabio DeCarmo, Dennis Furkan, Yuki Shirakawa, Reed Alicron, Jorge Lopez, and Eric Weiss-Maisky, Jay Lawrence, Dennis Cornu, James Byrne, Adam Whitworth, Luke Brooker, Jamie Bird, Steve Casamatis, Masafumi Aberame, Valerio Tavares, and Oliver Kwaka is out of the race after a massive incident at the start of this race. He unfortunately had that incident involving himself and Tavares, as this is Eddie Samborski. Well, he was not looking ahead to this race based on his current pace, but his race pace is looking fantastic. A new improved time for Fabio DeCarmo. Is this the charge he can get? Can he close down 3.8 seconds now as we starting the second half of this race here today at Magny-Cours?
So I was I just got distracted by Twitter. Yeah, I think Eddie says this quite often, that he's not looking forward to the next race and he doesn't have good pace and ends up winning anyway. I think he did it with Red Bull Ring either this season or last season. And yeah, it says he's not got much pace and then just goes ahead and wins anyway. I think
he does.
I think
he does this for himself, sets low expectations, and act surprised at the end, which is a good strategy, I would say, because I know most of us like hop into race. Oh man, I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so good, and then you just feel like horribleness after you get taken out of one lap, or your teammate decides to take out second place by accident in Bathurst. Sorry, Aaron, I didn't mean to bring that up.
There was no need. I couldn't even race.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hello.
Eric is off, and he's stopped. Eric Weiss-Maisky. This corner is like the most nerve-wracking corner of this camera angle.
What?
No. Okay, he's good. That is a very high speed. This might have been a hardware issue, or he had a Texas mom. I am not sure. I'm going to go on hardware issue. I've had to pull over to the side of the road and say, yes, Mom, I'm okay before.
I mean, I think the only really weird thing I've had to pull over in iRacing for is because, you know, if you've been on your TV for too long.
Oh, it turns off?
And it goes into standby mode. And it says your TV will turn off in like so ever many seconds.
There was a streamer who did that, who had that happen to him, and during the Daytona 24, he turns it
That's
off
when it happened.
on the straight, and then he turned it back on before he made the corner. It was Spa, actually, I think.
The worst thing for me was that my power button for my monitor sits right on top of my wheel, so I can't like get my fingers underneath it. I had to lift the monitor up. I had to pull over, lift the monitor up with both hands, and then reach under and turn it on. It was such a horrible feeling.
You know, you don't have this problem in VR.
That's
unless you have a cat.
I don't have a cat.
Well, I'll tell you what.
cats.
If you have a cat, the cat will walk on your keyboard and mess with your FOV.
I do not like cats.
or
Dogs
turn
are
off
much
your
better.
engine. There's a very famous, I think it's on the iRacing not top 10. One of those highlights that it is where the guy's driving around Spa in VR, the cat hits the I key. He just turns it off. But the best part is he found the key while still in VR and turned it back on. And into the walls. Luke Brooker, a little bit too much mustard off that exit. The car is looking fine though, but his car position right now is not looking too good as he rejoins the race back into 16th. And it's so easy to do that. Hopped over those curbs just a little bit too much. Car's upset as Brooker ends up with a lot of tire marks on the front straightaway and a little bit of wall on his front wing.
I mean, that's one way of putting it, I guess. But yeah, you're technically
Well, the
not
wing
wrong.
looks fine, so he probably chipped away a little bit of concrete.
To be
on
fair,
the
it looks
inside.
it looks fine.
Yeah, it looks
to
great.
me.
Looks great.
iRacing's damage model. Thumbs up.
Old damage one.
That's a good point. I don't think they'll ever update it for this car.
It
'Cause they
still
don't-
doesn't have AI.
Does it not?
No.
I swear
been,
they've added it for like.
They've
even
added it
below
for
just
everything except for this
49.
car.
Yeah, have they just forgotten this car exists? Probably.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because they just put this car in the iRacing highlight video the other day of a race
us.
back last year at Road America. I realized it was this because I heard myself on it. I'm like, oh, I remember this overtake. It was like a year ago.
Yeah, it took them a year to remember, and then they went back and watched it and was like, "Oh yeah, we better." Oh, hello.
Oh, Aberame going slow off the exit.
He just lost it.
Yeah.
Take it away, Austin. Say it.
A little bit of too much mustard off that exit.
Thank you. I don't feel like I'm allowed to say it.
No, you go ahead.
No.
It's up there for the taking as this is Byrne looking down the inside at Adelaide. He's got a front nose in there, a big steaming lockup right there by Jamie. Yeah, steamy Byrne. Steamy, it was a pun. Steam.
You're
burn,
not as good
water.
as puns as Chaz is. If you've
Don't
heard
make-
Chaz do puns.
Oh, Chaz is a goat at puns. My sister is really good at puns. I mean, I have to be very careful because she's visiting in town right there, and I can hear her outside my door. And if I say a pun, she will jump into this room and say a pun.
Go on then. Do it.
But I'm not. I'm just going to constantly keep mentioning Lenny the Kangaroo as Jamie Burns hops over those curbs.
Sake. If anyone's confused, just look up Lenny the Kangaroo and you'll
Do
understand.
not look up. If you're still watching from the start of the stream, Lenny the Kangaroo is the mascot for Bridgestone? Or
Yes, Bridgestone.
yeah, Bridgestone. Which I do not understand where they got Bridgestone. Yes, Kangaroo. As Masafumi Aberame is out of the race. It looks like he just pulled over, and because there wasn't any damage when that happened, so we're going to take a replay of what's happened right here.
Just gave up by the looks of it. Just
Curve,
Everything's
curve,
fine.
and
yeah, he just gave up.
nah, fam, not fam.
Just
Uh,
gave up.
Pull the car over, pull the car over. We have problem, we have problem.
I mean,
Name that F1
probably.
team.
I actually, do I know this?
You should. Everyone should.
Should I?
Yes. They had a lot of practice last year of doing it.
I'm lost.
It's red.
Oh, Ferrari.
Yes. Here's a replay of that lockup by Jamie Byrne. And I think that might have been another overtake opportunity for Jamie Byrne, but I think he got it really good this time. Had that lockup, but now chasing down at Nürburgring, heading into the 180. Long right-hander. Byrne goes a little bit wide, cuts it tight. Does he go off the track right there? Nope. As we were stuck in replay, as we go back to live photos, very good battling between these two as this battle continues on.
It's been brewing pretty much the whole race. I mean, Byrne's been slowly and silently making his way up 2 spots, whilst Wazimowski has obviously fallen down the grid, and here's his another attempt on Whitworth. He's going to try the outside this time, as the inside has not been working, as Whitworth just lets him go. Okay, that overtake was a lot easier than it was the previous 5 attempts. Wow. Nice. Not really much else I could say, apart from Whitworth didn't really defend at all. Like, at all. That's really weird. I'm a bit stumped now.
I just got a stumped comeback. You're fine. I unfortunately don't have anything to chop with that stump.
You're trying. Oh my god. That was Weisemowski getting very
Eric
close.
really wanted that move. Got a wide exit at Imola again. What is happening to Eric? Is he stuck in a gear? Or is something happening with his shifter?
I think that's probably what is happening to Eric.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Because it looked totally normal. Then when the car wanted to go, it just said, nah, fam. Dennis Cornelius a little bit off the track, but it's kept on going.
Why do you keep saying nah, fam? Is this like your new catchphrase?
Nah, fam. This is just something we say in America.
Right, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Byrne is about to be overtaken by Adam Whitworth again. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, but this time it's Byrne on the outside, Whitworth on the inside. They're going side by side, and Byrne very deep into the braking zone as Whitworth able to... You did not just say that.
Go on. Pretend I didn't say anything. Go on.
I can't. You said it.
Oh, I'm not in the right mindset to do this. Anyway, Adam Whitworth surprisingly getting past Byrne again. I think Byrne did make a mistake coming out of turn 4.
It was the entrance into Adelaide. He was on the outside this time, and Whitworth just held that inside line, and Byrne was playing it very nice. He went extremely wide, gave him all the space in case there was a lockout, which there was by Whitworth. Unfortunately, it's just couldn't get the power down off the exit, as that is Weisemowski off the track, and I'm expecting to see a toe very soon. Because, there it is.
I want to ride. Yeah, I was going to say, I want to ride on board with him. I want to hear this. Yeah, his gears aren't
stuck
working.
in 4th.
His gears aren't working. That's a bit of an unfortunate one.
That is really unfortunate. There's no mechanical errors in iRacing. There is mechanical failures in real life.
I hope so.
I wish I had a real wife, but I don't.
You're not speaking like you do at the moment. You're really suffering at the moment.
That's why my new job is just behind a camera on a football pitch.
Oh, God. This is what happens when you're retired, kids.
You lose your mind.
I mean, Murray Walker didn't. He kept on churning.
Murray Walker is amazing.
Was.
Yes.
May he rest in peace.
Yes.
Yes. You can't see this, but I'm praying with both hands. I will not rub them together.
Thank you. I knew you were about to.
You were just waiting. I'll just say what you put in race chat.
Marcos Alarcon racing with Jorge Lopez right now. Lopez charging onto the gearbox of Alarcon in this fight for 6th place. They race through Nürburgring. Aaron, please stop that. That's what you... deep into 180, a little bit of lockup. That exit of 180, the outside line is a little bit uncambered, so it really hugs the car. It takes away the car, and then it throws you wide.
It just keeps getting worse. Oh no! Just what's the movie but? Oh God! If I was doing this in real life. Oh no.
I think the producer would have came in here with a golf club and
probably
Yeah.
a while ago, probably about 5 laps in. But luckily, we're doing this from the comfort of our own home. So
Which you
can
can race on to from your comfort of your own home on iRacing. If you are interested in racing some of the best cars, simulated cars in the world, we got actually licensed cars, actually laser scanned tracks, so you can feel every bump, little hint, little bit of grass on your car right here, and some of the most accurate simulations. You can head over there on iRacing. I think a sale is about to happen, and also a new season's about to happen a few weeks away. So hey, get on iRacing, enjoy some fun, and race from the comfort of your own home without all that hassle of going out to an actual racetrack, renting out a car, a fire suit, a helmet, and buying gas, and all for a pretty cheap price. So hey, try out iRacing today.
I was not expecting you to sell out for iRacing, but I mean, yeah, go ahead. They might give you a sponsorship. You hope they give you a sponsorship.
Much better than R Factor 2.
I can stand by
Our
that.
servers are good.
Sometimes.
No, they no red flags. Though honestly, new fastest lap by Fabio Di Carmo. Though sometimes there might need to be a red flag due to an incident.
Yes.
Long Beach rolling starts.
Or half the time this series,
Bathurst.
Barcelona.
Do not remind me of that race. I don't want to talk about that race.
That happened 2 seasons in a row.
Okay, so the worst part is about that incident. That incident happened about 9 times within 18 races.
People just could not keep this car in the show.
Well, the thing is, the tricky part with those tracks are, and it could have happened today, is the start line is surrounded by walls, and the track width doesn't change. So it's just there. One person has a bad start, and then it all goes kaputs. And it's very easy to overcook these tires. And yeah, exactly, just like that. And then next thing you know, well, you're cooking pasta without spaghetti, and it's just not working out. I know there's more than one types of pasta than spaghetti, but spaghetti is the spiritual goat. As this white flag for the spiritual goat of this series, Eddie Samborski putting down a new fastest lap of the race, leading out everybody by 4.2 seconds.
By a lot, basically, as Lopez gets past his fellow countryman Alicron. No, he doesn't. Oh, hello.
Forces a mistake by Lopez.
Into the final chicane as well.
That's going to be a slowdown.
100%. That's the one thing I don't like about iRacing, though. The slowdowns. They're bad. And I hate them.
Well, would you rather serve the slowdown during the race or serve a post-race time penalty? Either way, you are going to get penalized for cheating.
Well, I think they should just make the slowdown better. Because, especially at tracks like Daytona or Le Mans, it's really bad. Like, really bad. Like, you will go ever so slightly wide and get a 2-second slowdown, which actually costs you 10 seconds. It's
Aaron,
ridiculous.
Aaron. You give racing drivers an inch, they take a mile. Look at Williams.
Yes. That is a good point. But what about... This is the thing, because they've added that slowdown.
Yes.
What if you're just... I don't know, avoiding
Well, if you're
incident?
going slow to avoid an incident, you won't get that slowdown at the speed that they have that slowdown on.
That's true.
As
What was
it's
it,
Eddie
just one?
Samborski takes the win of this race by 5 seconds ahead of Fabio Di Carmo. Dennis Furkheim gets ahead of Yuki Shirakawa, finishing third, followed by Reed in 5th place. There's Fabio right there. He's going to hit the brakes and then get out of there. He's heading into the final chicane. It is Alicron racing in ahead of Lopez, and that pressure he gave on the penultimate lap made it work off that final line as Marcus Alicron finishes in 6th place. And very good race by these two drivers between Alicron and Lopez. They're going to be happy about today. Adam Whitworth sitting in 12th ahead of Casamatis in that final chicane. He's going to walk home in 12th place, up 5 spots. One of our biggest movers here today. And it's the Burns in 10th and 11th. James Byrne up 5 spots as well. Yuki Shirakawa had the best first lap, but he didn't get the overall overtakes, as he's only got 4 overtakes, and I think all three of those were in their first lap.
Yeah, it was overall, I mean, I wouldn't say a clean race at all. I think there were a fair few amount of incidents, but yeah, from an entertainment standpoint, I think me and Austin provided that absolutely superbly, even though most people have no idea what we're talking about, but that's fine. And yeah, had a fairly decent race. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I had fun. Thank you, Magny-Cours.
Yeah, I'm going to say another driver who probably enjoys it around here is Fabio De Carmo. We have Fabio De Carmo joining us right now. Fabio, you got pole on here today. It wasn't the start that you were looking for, but other than that, it looked like a pretty fair race for you today. How's your feeling towards Magny-Cours?
Oh, it's such a fun track. I always train on racing this in iRacing since when I was a kid watching the French Grand Prix here. Yeah, regarding the race, there was pretty much nothing I could do about the start. This is my standard start. I don't own a clutch on my rig, so Eddie got a killer start. He managed to use his clutch very, very well. Jumped ahead of me when I finished putting the traction down. He was already alongside me, so nothing I could do there. Just trying to keep my pace. Very, very hard track. Sometimes we have kind of blind corners, fast corners with entry blind S's and so on. So a lot of fun, but very challenging as well. So yeah, glad I got the podium.
We're glad to see you get up there on a podium. You got the pole position, but yeah, standing starts did not go your way here today. But other than that, it was a very good result for you. Second place here. Next week, you head to Imola. How are you feeling about that?
I love that track, but it hasn't been so good to me in the past seasons. I'm not very lucky there, so I hope it's different this time.
Well, I hopefully the stars align for you and you can get your mojo back around Imola. Fabio, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Texaco Racing by TK, thanks for supporting me. Also our sponsors Logitech, HB Brasil, Texaco Lubrificantes, B8 Seguros, and also Toyota Gazoo Racing. Thank you so much. And also you guys for the broadcast. Thank you guys.
And thank you for giving us a show on here today. And we're going to bring in Eddie Samborski as well. Eddie, you were talking before the race that you didn't have the best of luck around here today. And next thing you know, you put it up on second, then heading into turn one, you take it for the race lead, and then he said, sayonara, everybody, and then you went off for that win. How was that race, and why are you so good at underselling yourself?
You know, I guess I looked too much into the forum. I saw the times on the forums of the super fast lap times, and I was telling myself, I'm like, man, you're behind, because I had ridiculously good conditions, and I was only 3 tenths faster. So I figured that I was about 6 tenths off the pace. So I worked like crazy all week, and then the qualifying, I made an error that I kind of knew it was going to happen. I was telling myself, don't do it, and then I did it. I did both of them. The first lap out of the final corner, I got loose and wiggled. Lost a bunch of time, and then on the second lap I locked up in the hairpin. I was like, yep, okay, awesome, 10 hours of practice, you do it anyway. But in the end it worked out. Fabio put up a good fight. I mean, what was it, 1,000th or something for a pole?
It was 100th.
100th, yeah. So I mean, that's basically, it's the same lap time. I mean, technically not, but it is. I mean, we all know it's margin of error. So I was just happy to not bin the car. I tried 3 times out there. Unintentionally, so I was happy to see the checker flags. I was like, all right, I did it.
Well, next week you head to Imola. How are you feeling about Imola and next week and all in general? Because I believe with this win, if you win next week, you pretty much cemented yourself as a champion for this season.
I have an awesome habit of wrecking myself in front of the field into turn 1 there, so I'm going to practice all week.
Something to change.
Yes, that is something I need to address immediately. And we've been visiting difficult tracks. I've been having little errors that haven't cost me. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's kind of soon. You got to knock it off.
All right, Eddie. Well, we're running out of time here in the booth. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
Absolutely. I'd like to thank everyone who's been trying the car recently. It's very nice to have you in the series. We appreciate you. Thanks for putting up with anything that you may deem undesirable and compromising with everyone. That's always good. I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting, and hopefully this isn't the end. We'll see. Fundraising hasn't gone excellent, but we'll see. I'm doing the best I can.
Thank you, Eddie, for all you do for the Formula 3.5 here on iRacing. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here live on Apex Racing TV throughout the season, or just this live stream here today. I've been joined by Aaron Smith, and we had Samuli Kumo in the production booth. And I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.